Hello students, in this class we'll see that how we can use for loop to make different kind of things to get different type of results. And I would like to tell you that videos, a lot of videos related to for loop, if condition, switch case is already uploaded there in one of the playlist. Right now it is in Java programming playlist. You can watch it there and learn it. And here also I'll help you to learn those things. But if you'd have watched those videos, then it will be very easy and very interesting for you to understand. So let us begin and see how for loops can be used. And meanwhile, I'm typing something. I'd like to tell you that what is a for loop. Looping simply means repeating anything, repeating anything. If you want to repeat something, a set of tasks or anything you want to repeat, you want to do it again and again, again and again, then in that case, those cases, we use looping. Looping, a lot of different types of loopings are there, like for loop is there, while is there, do while is there. All of them work in the same way, but with the different slight changes to fulfill our requirement. For different level of flexibilities, we have different type of loops. So we'll first see the for loop, and we'll make few programs, few functions actually. uh, Counting, we'll start with the counting. What kind of function we are making? No return, no argument. How it is written? First we write for, then int, any loop variable like I or j or xy or any variable name. From where you want to start? I want to start from 1. You can start from any number. You can start from 0, or you can start from negative number. From, that number line, 0 is there, and this side, on the right hand side negative numbers are there, and left hand side positive. So you can start counting from 0, from 1, from 2, from 5, from negative numbers, from wherever you want to start. You can start uh, counting. I mean, looping is something which repeats. So repeat how many times? So obviously, times, number of times the thing you want to repeat and all, you have to specify. So here I'm simply making a program to show you how a loop can be used for simply counting a number, and that counting will start from 1. So how it is written? Look at the syntax, the rule of writing this loop. First, 4 is written in a small letter, then parenthesis, int I equals 1. We are making an integer variable I. You can make any kind of number variable. Float, even floats can be used, double can be used, but I'm using int. I'm giving initial value as 1. Then what? I'm giving target. This is the logical, this is conditional expression. This is semicolon. This is part of the rule. After semicolon, first we have to give the initial value. From loop variable start from which the value, and then I'm giving a semicolon, and the next part begins. In for loop we have 3 parts. First part is the initialization part. Next part is the conditional statement. I is less than 10. This is a condition. Means this loop will work as long as this condition is true. As long as this condition is true. What does this mean? If you'll see those videos, you'll find it. What does this mean? Otherwise, you'll see it here also. As long as this condition is true, this loop will work. Right now, what is the status? Let us try to find it out. What's the value of I right now? We have initialized with 1. So is 1, that is the value of I, is less than 10? Yes, true. This is true. Okay. This is called true and false. The time when the value of I will not be less than 10, then the loop will stop. So who will decide how the value of I will change and will get closer to 10, and when once it will become greater than 10? This is the task of third part of the loop. This is the first part, this is the second part, and after this we are going to write the third part. I plus plus This is plus plus is an increment operator. You can see a video regarding operators also where you'll find this operator. This does what? This simply increases the value or add one to the existing value. So this is how the third part will help the value of I to increase every time. Like if you are running in a ground, we count no round one, then round two, then round three. We count the same way it will do that task. In the first round, it will count one, then it will become two, then it will automatically this becomes. Now then we put a curly brace. This is the block of for loop. This is the block of for loop. Now what? Nothing. Stem.out. Print and value of I. Simply print the value of I. Okay, that's it. Now what? Either in the same class or in the other class. Let us make the things in another class. Class ops operations. The rule we need to do what? We need to write the for loop because this is the name of class and then the num counting. This is the name of function that we have made. These things we have already seen in our previous videos. So that's it. Let us save it. For loop.java. Actually, these things will become more interesting if you'll see the previous videos because there I have already explained it in a proper way. And yes, of course, only just watching videos is not going to help you at all. You'll have to practice it in a different way, and only then you'll understand. Find some example over the internet, try, you'll understand. You have got a good mind. So now Java C for loop dot Java. Let me increase the screen size. Uh, Oh, errors. Okay, very good. File not found for loop dot Java. Where I've saved them. dir slash o t. This helps to, as I have told you, slash od helps what? To arrange date wise. Look at the last file. It's not saved here. Then where it is saved? E drive begin for loop dot Java. It's there. Once again, we can try dir for asterisk. It's there for loop.java. What I have made mistake? Oh, no problem. You can understand easily. Double O I had written. Now it's compiled. And yes, one more thing you need to know. We have two classes, for loop and ops. So which class has the main function ops? So now if you'll see again dir, if you do slash od, you'll find that right now two class files are generated. One for first class, another for another class, that is ops class. And this ops class contains the main function. So while executing, we need to write the function having or the class having the main function in it. That's ops. Look, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is how the loop is working. So how it is working, please try to understand it once again. And this is how it works. It starts from this, the value of initial value of I as 1. Then it has to go till as long as it is less than 10. जब तक 10 से छोटा है तभी तक. And every time I is increasing 1. In the first one, value of I is 1. So printing the value of I, returned here 1. and then it checked it again. What is the value of I? It's 1. And meanwhile, it is doing all the things. This increases automatically. Means what has happened? Try to understand once again. I's value is 1. It came down. It checked it. Is less than 10? Of course, it is less than 10. It came down. Meanwhile, it is doing this operation. The I's value has increased automatically. Then it goes and check. This is not executed afterwards. It's executed only once. Then this is checked every time. Now, since this work was going on, the work which is inside the parenthesis was going on, and meanwhile this was going on, the value of I has increased, and now it has become 2. Now it checked it here whether I is less than 10. I's value is still not. So is it less than 10? Yes, it is less than 10. So it again entered here, and now it printed 2. And meanwhile this task is again going on. Looping means repeating. It's going on, and meanwhile that is increased to 3. And this loop is going on and on and on. And when it become, once the value of I was 9, then what? It printed 9, and meanwhile it printed 9. The value of I increased and it became 10 in the last. And when it became 10, it checked it. When I's value is 10, then whether 10 is less than 10, 10 is not less than 10. So it became false, and it came out of the loop. And yes, try one more thing. Print the value of I after the loop. Means after the loop. This is after the loop. How we decided after the loop? This loop's range is up to this, from starting from here and ending to here, and everything after this curly brace is out of the loop. Although it's part of function, but it's out of loop. Now see what will happen. Need to once again. ये अच्छी चीज हुआ. Here you got the chance to learn a new thing, that is the local and the global variable. Okay, let me make the point clear. This is the local variable. This is local for this block. Variables are local as per the blocks. Means actually this int I is defined for this block. So after this block, I is nowhere. I just is nowhere. That's why it's telling that cannot find the symbol I. Right? This also happens. Yes, this also happens. So you should be always very careful while using these things. So how can we solve it? So we can do this like this. Instead of writing int I here, let us define int I here. Now this is what? This is local to this block, and its life will be starting from this block until after this its life will be ended. But till this it is there. Now save it, and once again, now this time there is no such problem. Now execute it. Oops. Now look how it is working. This 1 to 9 is because of this loop, but this 10 is because of this. But why it happened? Because with the help of this, lastly the increment this i's value has become 10, and because of which this condition failed fall. Why? Because 10 is less is 10 less than 10? No, it's not less than, it's equal to. So it left that loop and it came out. So so in order to understand it properly, let us have a message before it. Out of loop. This will help you to understand. Now try it back. Now you could understand it properly. From here to here, it is under the loop. Now once it came out, the statement was executed, and then the value of I. Now this is 10. So this is how a simplest version of loop is working. What we can do? We can do a lot of things. Let us make changes. We can start from -5, okay, and then see what happens. Save it, compile it, and run it. it's it has started counting from -5, then added 1 to it, then it became -4, 3. This is like kind of number line, huh? For minus, then 0, and then 1, 2, 3 for till line. Okay, this is also be done. One more thing I'd like to tell you, in place of just I plus plus, you can write I equals I plus 2. So earlier it was doing what? It was incrementing 1, now it will increment 2. That same way you can increment 3, 4, 5, 10, 100, whatever you wish to add the given plus 2. Look at the way I have written. You cannot write like this, I plus plus plus. No, this is not correct. This is only correct for incrementing 1. But right now we want to increment 2. And yes, here terminator is not provided. Always remember, if you give terminator, things will not work. Why? I'll tell you. Save it, compile it, and then see the difference. -5 plus 2 -3 plus 2 -1, then plus 2 1, then plus 2 3, then plus 2, and like this it is working. And then it becomes 9 plus 2 11. So we'll see more about for loop in our next program.